Okay, question 14. The price of a pack of kitchen rolls is reduced by 1/6 and the new price is £1.20. Okay, so whatever the original price was, they've taken 1/6 off and now said that the original, the sale price is £1.20. So we can say that £1.20 is 5/6 of the original price. Okay, that makes sense. So I want to find out what the original price is. Now if this is 5/6 of the original price, if I divide by 5, that'll tell me what 1/6 is. So £1.20 divided by 5 equals 20p, and that equals 1/6 of the original price. Okay, because they know that people that are not experienced in maths will just divide this by 6 and then add a bit. So 1/5 of this, oh, I do beg your pardon, 1/5 of this is not 20p. 1/6 of that is 20p. Okay, so I'm sure you all spotted the error. So 1/5 of this, okay, is going to be 24p. Okay, so 1/6 is 24p, so I fell into my own trap there. So 120 divided by 5 is 24p. So this is 1/6 of the price. So the whole price is 6 times 24. So 6 multiplied by 24, okay, 6 4s are 24, 6 2s are 12, plus 2 is £1.44, and that would be the original price. Okay, so this is good. It just shows you that I made mistakes as well. So 1/5 of this tells us what 1/6 of the original price is. Then once I know what a fifth of this is, I can multiply 6 and it gives me back my answer. So this will be £1.44. Okay, and you can check this. Okay, if I divide this by 6, I get 24p, and if I take 24p off, it does give me £1.20. So I know that my answer is right. You can reverse this just to check that your answer is right. Okay, so sorry about the mistake, but there you go, I'm human. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so 15, this triangle and this triangle are similar. Okay, so all the angles are the same, the dimensions are different. Okay, so which one of the following equations is correct for these triangles? Okay, so we have 4 equations here. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. This in relation to this is the same as this in relation to this. Okay, so this over 9 is the same as 4 over 5. Now 3 plus x over 9 here should be the same as 4 over 5, but they've got this the wrong way round, so that's no good. And there is no other equation like that. So what I can say is that this in relation to this is the same as this in relation to this. So 3 plus x over 4 is the same as 9 over 5. So 3 plus x over 4 is the same as 9 over 5. So here we have it. 3 plus x over 4 is the same as 9 over 5. Okay? So the larger over the smaller is the same as the larger over the smaller. So we've circled the correct equation. Now it just says work out the value of x. Well, we have here 3 plus x all over 4 equals 9 over 5. So this little triangle thing here means therefore. I want to get rid of this 4. Now at the moment it's dividing, so if I bring it up here it multiplies. So we get 3 plus x equals 9 multiplied by 4 all over 5. So I can say that 3 plus x equals 36 over 5. So if I just make that a mixed number, so we get 3 plus x equals, now 5's into 36 goes 7 and 1/5. Make that more of a 7. So we have 7 and 1/5. Now we want to know what x equals, so this number is going to come over. So I can say that x equals 7 and 1/5 minus 3. So x must equal 4 and 1/5. Okay, so x equals 4 and 1/5. Okay, it's very simple. So if the x is here in the numerator, we take the denominator over and multiply. Okay, and then we have this pretty much straight line, which is what we want here. Then it's just a question of moving the number to isolate the x. Okay, nothing more complicated than that. This is just practice. Okay, so I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so question 16, we're getting there. Work out the area of this right-angled triangle. Okay, so there are several ways of doing this, but the easiest way I think is to use trigonometry. Okay, we know the area of a triangle is base times height, but we don't know the height. We don't know this. Okay, we don't know the height. Now, this I know is my opposite because it's directly opposite the angle, and this is my adjacent. So I'm only interested in opposite and adjacent. Okay, so using SOHCAHTOA, so if you remember, sex on hard concrete always hurts the other's arse. It's the other's arse we're after. Okay, not literally, but it's TOA, the TOA part. So I can say that tangent equals opposite over the adjacent. Okay, so now we can put this in. So tan 50 equals, now the opposite we don't know, that's what we're looking for, over the adjacent, which is 24. Now we want to find our x, so the 24 is dividing, so if I move over it multiplies, so we get 24 multiplied by the tangent of 50. Okay, and this will give us x. So x equals, so I go to my calculator and I just put in 24 multiplied by tan 50, and this gives me 28.602. So I would take that to 28.6. So this is 28.6, and this is meters. Okay. So now we know the area is the base multiplied by the height. So now we have the height. So it's base multiplied by height divided by 2, or half the base times the height. So I can say that the area is half the base multiplied by the height. Okay, so this means that half of the base, now if the base is 24, this will be 12 multiplied by the height, which is 28.6. Okay, so again I go to my calculator, and 12 multiplied by 28.6 equals 343.2. Okay, and this would be meters squared. Okay, because we're dealing in meters on this triangle. Now remember that it says give your answer to 2 significant figures. Now my first significant figure is this one. My second significant figure is this one. So this is the one that I need to look to round. Do I do it round it up or round it down? Well, because it's 3, I would round down. So this would be 340 meters squared to 2 significant figures. Okay, so I would say that this is 340 meters squared. Okay, so the trig will give you the height, which is what we want. Once we've got that, area is half the base times the height, or base times height over 2, whichever you prefer. Then remember, go back to the question, and it says here 2 significant figures. Okay, so make sure that you understand significant figures. So we move on to the next question. Okay, 17. So the box plot shows information about marks of a year 11 class in a test. So here we can see the box plot. So the median mark was 80, lower quartile was 70, the upper quartile 85, the lowest mark there was 60, the highest mark was 100. So the table information about the marks of the boys in the class. So we have a minimum 65, maximum 95, and so on. So all it wants to do is draw a box plot for the boys. So that's nice and simple. So if I just move that just a shade. So the minimum mark is 65. Okay, so 65 is about here. The maximum mark is 95, so that's about here. Now the lower quartile is 70, so let's say that's about there. The upper quartile is 85, so that would be there. The median is 80 again, so the median is the same as the whole class. So all we need to do now is connect this box plot together, and we're done. That's it. That's all we need to do. So we have a minimum 65, maximum 95 here, lower quartile 70, upper quartile 85, median 80. Okay, so I'll pause because we need to now go to question whatever it is, 17B. Okay. Okay, so 17B. 1/4 of the girls in the class scored 75 or less. The interquartile range for the girls is the same for the boys, and draw a box plot for the marks of the girls. So we need to draw a box plot. So we have our box plot here. Now one thing that they tell us is 1/4 of the girls in the class scored 75 or less. So the lower quartile is going to be at 75 because they've said that 1/4 of the girls scored 75 or less. So this would be at 75. Okay, so my lower quartile is at 75. Now the interquartile range for the girls is the same for the boys. So if I pull up for the boys here, they have an interquartile range of 15 here, yeah, from 70 to 85. So the interquartile range is going to be 15 for both. So 15 added on to this means that my interquartile range must still be 15. So from 75 add 15 is going to give me 90. Okay, so I can put my box in here. Now they also tell us the interquartile range for the girls is the same for the boys. 1/4 of the girls in the class score 75 or less, draw a box plot. So if we go back to the other question here, our median is 80 and our median for the whole class is 80. So the median for the girls must also be 80. So the median doesn't alter. Okay, if it's for the whole class and it's for the boys, if the girls' median altered, it would shift for the whole class, but it doesn't. Okay, now we just need to know the lowest mark for the girls and the lowest mark and the highest mark for the girls. Now if we go back to the boys here, the lowest mark for the boys was 65. The lowest mark for the class is 60. Now if the boys didn't get a lowest mark of 60, the girls must have done. So I can say that their lowest point is at 60. Okay. Now, the highest mark for the class was 100, but the highest mark for the boys was 95. So a girl must have got the highest mark of 100. Okay, I hope that all makes sense to you. So it's just deduction. So now I can put in the whisker part of my box of whisker, and there you have it. Okay, so the lower quartile is 75. The upper quartile is going to be 15 above, because the boys' interquartile range is 15 above. The average or median average for the class and the boys was 80, so the girls must be the same. And then just by deduction you can find out the lowest and the highest marks. Okay, I'm sure you do understand that. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so question 18. And we have a triangle here, not drawn accurately, and it says work out the length of BC. So we need to know this length, BC. Now we don't have matched pairs. Okay, we have an angle opposite this side, but we don't have a second angle in the triangle to help us out. So this means we have to use the cosine rule. Okay, usually at this point people start groaning. I can understand why, because I'm not particularly keen on it, but we do need to use the cosine rule, and this will be printed at the beginning of your exam paper. So here I've written the cosine rule. Okay, so you can stop crying and I'll just take you through it. So a squared, so this is little a because it's opposite here, equals b. So this is b, little b. So this must be obviously little c. So a squared equals b squared. So this is 45 squared. So a squared equals this, plus c squared, which is 60 squared, minus 2 multiplied by b, which is 45, multiplied by c, which is 60, multiplied by the cosine of 110. Okay, so we can simplify this now. So a squared equals, so you go to your calculator, so 45 squared is 2025. So we have 2025 plus 60 squared, which gives us 3,600, minus, so this would be 2 multiplied by 45 multiplied by 60 multiplied by the cosine of 110 which gives us minus, so I'll put this in brackets, minus 1846.9. I'll call this 0.9. Just take this out so you can read it properly. Okay, so 2 times multiplied by 45 multiplied by 60 multiplied by cosine 110 gives us minus 1846.9. So a squared equals, now 2025 plus this will give us 5625. Now this is minus this, so this will be plus 1846.9. okay, so a squared will equal, so I need to put these two together, so we have 5625 plus 1846.9 equals 7481.9. So we have 7481.9. Okay, but this is what a squared is. So a will equal the root of this number, 7481.9. So a will equal, so now I've got to find the root of that number. So the square root of 7481, square root of 7481.9 is 86.49. So I get 86.49. We'll actually get 4979. So this means that this is 80 odd centimeters or kilometers long, which looks or feels about right, because if this is 40 and this is 60, something around about the 80-90 mark will be about right. And they've not said give your answer to any specific decimal places or significant figures. So I would say that 86.4979. As it's a calculator paper, I would give it to 4 decimal places, but you could give it to 2 or 1 and make it 86.5, and I'm sure that will be fine. Okay, so I'll stop there and I'll make a new video on the next questions.